What's up, fellas? Hope you folks had a nice break. But regular scheduled programming has now ensued. And without further ado, let's get right into the topic for tonight, which is all about complaining. Now, of course, once in a while, including myself, men like to complain amongst their boys, amongst their friends, right? Sometimes you just gotta vent. But here's the slippery slope. When it comes down to the nuts and bolts, when it comes down to getting dirty, you just gotta suck it up and do it. Especially when it comes down to being a man. Hell, let's not even go to man. Just look at any organism out there. No matter what. A tiger, a shark, a sheep, a cow, a cockroach, a worker bee, an ant. All these creatures. What is the concept of complaining? If you really sit down and think about it, what does complaining even achieve? Sure, for us humans, our developed minds allows us some form of venting, like I said before, but ultimately complaining does nothing. Because here's the reality. You're not actually influencing those things that you are complaining about. You cannot change them. You cannot change the situation. Complaining is useless. Now, if you were to become a tyrant, a slave driver, you get your hands dirty, then yeah, that's a whole different situation because you are directly influencing the situation to be beneficial to you. But otherwise, you can't do a damn thing. So why would you complain? If you're truly a logical being, you would sit down and find solutions. And as a man, that's what we do best. We find solutions. So in a way, perhaps these venting sessions with the boys aren't necessarily simply to complain. We're probably just brainstorming for solutions, ways to navigate, to change the hostile environment. So, think about it for a second. If you're actually just talking shit, talking down on whatever thing is causing you problems, whether it be your boss, people at your work, co-workers, or perhaps relationship issues, or maybe even family issues. If you're constantly talking bad about them, talking shit behind their backs, you need to really reevaluate yourself. Because you're not accomplishing a damn thing. You find a problem, address it, and solve it. That's what us men do. And if you cannot, then you simply shut up and move on. Or move away from the situation. You cut ties, cut contact, get rid of the negative stimulus. Plain and simple. I don't want to hear any complaints whatsoever saying, oh, but this and... Listen, we're all alive for a finite amount of time on this planet. We're going to draw our last breath sooner than you think. And if you know that your adventure on this world is limited, it's going to end. You will know just how precious time is, and you will not be wasting time just sitting at home deep inside within your own thoughts, mulling over the worries of the world, stressing out for things that don't really matter. Because here's another fun fact, another pro tip for you. All the things that we worry about, that we stress over. Oh, what if this happens? What about what happens in the next week, next month? And what about this? If you extrapolate the time to how would I feel about this situation a month later, half a year later, a year, a decade, half a century even, you're gonna realize, man, none of this even matters. It's all bullshit. Why am I even allocating brain power to this kind of menial, worthless, trivial thoughts? Y'all are just gonna brush it aside. Just go, you know what? Whatever, it doesn't matter. As a man, you have to understand this thing. It is built into our system, biology. Millions of years of evolution dictates us that we simply do. See, here's the flaw when it comes to human beings. Perhaps evolution has overtuned us. We have become too smart for our own good. Too in our own heads, stressing out over hypotheticals, over nothing. If you really think about the state of our world these days, if you really look at the population, the demographics, you realize all the developed countries, those metropolises, the big cities, first world countries, no one's having kids anymore. Their population is decreasing, aging out. And why is that? Because the cost of living is too high. People have to work. And they're all in their own heads. Whereas like, well, I gotta survive. I gotta make this money. I gotta maintain this job. I gotta be in good standing with my boss, with my career path, in order to survive in this hellish metropolis. And hell, I definitely don't have money or resources to allocate towards my future generation, my descendants. No, I can't be thinking about starting a family. And if I do, I have to be well established with contingency plans and then backup plans to those contingency plans, aka the 401ks, the investments, the real estates, paying off all your student debt. All those things you can think of is preventing us from carrying out our innate, basic biological duties. Preventing us from starting the next generation. And here's the thing, if you look at the trend, all those smartest people of the world, the ones making the most money, the ones that congregate in these big bustling cities, they're gonna die out. They're not having kids. Perhaps one or two at best. And who are the ones that are having children instead? That are having the most? Think about that. Do I have to spell it out for you? If not us, the smartest of the smart, the highest achievers, if we aren't having children, who are? If you're on the internet, you probably have seen it all the time. Single mothers, poor countries, they're the ones that will carry on the torch, will continue the human species. See, evolution does not discern. As an individual, you might be the strongest, the fastest, the brightest, the most logical. But guess what? All that is for naught if you cannot pass on your genes. We might just simply be too smart for our own good. Natural selection is quite simply, evidently, picking the ones who are in poorer countries, the ones that are more agricultural based, blue collar workers. They favor those. Those are the ones that will be continuing our human race. Isn't that a scary thought if you think about it? Being too smart, too rich, too high earning for your own good, too developed. These are unnatural. These are all human creations. And nature does not discern. Nature is ruthless when it comes to weeding out those who are unworthy of survival, unworthy of passing on their genes. Sure, you might say, yeah, I can live anywhere in this world. I got money. I got money in the bank. I got investments. I got everything. But that's where your generation ends. It ends with you because you've aged out of the market. Man. Now let's rewind back to my original topic. How does this all tie into complaining and men simply not complaining? Well, here's this reality of the situation. Once you are aware that, hey, why am I willingly choosing to get stuck in this rat race, to climb the corporate ladder, or to work tirelessly to make a lot of money, but with no time to actually spend it or anything? The beauty of a man is his ability to choose. Once you make enough, once you have enough money, if you don't like this current lifestyle, you don't have to stay in the city. You go somewhere else. Go to a third world country. Go to the countryside. Start farming. Start doing blue collar work. You don't gotta do any of this. You don't gotta do anything. You choose your own life. You choose your own adventure. Complaining simply will not change a damn thing. And once you realize this, you understand that sometimes keeping it simple, bringing it back to basics, is all it takes. Embracing nature. Now, I hope you guys took home something from this. I know I went out on a wild tangent, but somehow I managed to reel it back in. So hopefully this video got you to think about certain things that you may not have thought about, that may not have crossed your minds. And with that said, I'm calling it a night. I'm signing off. Peace.